Good morning, good morning, good morning. My name is Kaci Jackson, registered commodity trading advisor with the National Futures Association. I hope you are well. I want to take a look at AUDUSD this morning. I'm going to go ahead and set my chart up just the way I like. I am using the Smart Trader platform, which gives me just a little bit of insight into the market. Technical, I should say, analysis. So what I'm going to do, I'm starting off on the higher time frame. I'm going to do a multiple time frame analysis to give me just an overall idea of what's happening on the higher time frames and how I need to move in the market. I am starting off on the monthly, and what I'm doing is I'm going in and I'm looking for what's called swing highs and swing lows. And the reason that I look for highs and lows is because I'm looking for high probability areas where price has the potential to reverse. And so basically I'm using past price action to help me analyze and figure out what I think may happen now. And so I go through, I identify those swing highs, swing lows, and I mark them off according to the time frame that I'm on. So this gold color is the color that I use for the monthly time frame. And if you don't know what a swing high, swing low is, I strongly encourage you to go visit the no-cost mini course. In it, I break down that information along with a lot more that will help you follow along in these videos just a little bit better so you can stay with me as I talk. All right, so I've done the monthly. So I'm moving ahead and I'm going to the weekly, and I'm looking for, again, highs and lows and opportunities that could be for reversal. Now, only see, let me make sure, I'm trying to make sure I didn't miss anything, but it looks like that is my only weekly level. And so I think I'm good. So I'm going to go down to the daily, and guess what I'm going to do, y'all? The same thing again. And I'm looking for areas of support and resistance, basically. So swing high, swing low, basically is a formation of support and resistance, right? And so I see a little level here, right? I see a level here, and let me go in. I want to make sure I'm not missing anything. We got a level here. We got a level here. And then we got one right here. I want to make sure. I hope I haven't missed anything. Y'all, I'm working on my laptop. I told you in the last video, there have been a lot of life changes moving, namely, and I have tried to work out a situation that will still allow me to record for y'all. And it's a little cumbersome, but I get the job done. So I appreciate your patience and bearing with me through this so I can get my regular setup all complete. I want to go ahead and mark that off. So what I am on now, I'm on the 4 hour, and I'm just going through and finding those levels of support and levels of resistance on each time frame. Okay, so I am almost done with this. I think we got one here. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to double check to make sure that what I have chosen, the system recognizes too. I like to do it manually first because you know how technology is. One day it's working, one day it's not. So I want to be prepared either no matter what it looks like. So that is what I am doing. And I think I'm almost done. I'm just trying to make sure I get every level because I don't want any surprises after I complete this analysis. So I'm going to double check, make sure that the system has picked up my levels, and I missed one. Y'all, I missed one. Okay. All good. But we got everything down here. It looks like we got everything up here. So I'm going to turn this off because I'm good. I'm going to check smart support. And it looks like the levels that I added, those gray levels, have been picked up by the system too. So now that I've identified my key levels of support and resistance, I'm going to go back to the monthly chart. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to the most recent low, click below the last low, and look at the overall direction and setup of the market. So what I see here is that this is a Fibonacci tool. If you don't use it, I highly encourage you to. The game changed for me once I understood and mastered Fib. And so you've got an A low, a B high, you had less than a 23.6 pullback. And if you aren't familiar with these levels, again, you want to go to the no cost mini course. I break it down in there so you can follow along a little bit better. So we had a shallow retracement. Price pushed up to the 118, 127D extension. It didn't quite complete, which is why it's still highlighted. And so the ultimate target in a perfect world is that price finishes out at 8583. I'm going to change this just so I can distinguish the long-term take profit. Okay. And so what we've got is a 6-8 pullback. And so we haven't reached that target. And you got to remember that we are on the monthly chart. So this could take forever to complete, right? So you're like, Kaci, okay, this is great. How do I get into what's happening now? How do I capitalize on now market moves? So what I'm going to do now is I have gone down to the weekly. I'm going to click below my last low because this is more recent price action to see if there's an active fib. And there is. And so we have a very similar setup as we did before this here. This is still active, so it means that the fib has not completed. And actually, I'm going to go up just one more because I think this is on the monthly. It is. And so on the monthly, this leg, you see we had an A low, a B high. We had a pullback to the green level. So theoretically, when we pull back to that 63075, in theory, we should be taking profit right above weekly resistance at 73359 based on where I am right now. I'll zoom in to tighten it up, but I think that's where the take profit is. So we looked at that from the monthly standpoint. This still does not give you any information on how you should be entering the market right now. It gives you the overall direction of the market, right? And so I want to look now, go down to the daily, and I want to see where we are again in the overall sequence. And so I'm going to click to see if this finished the sequence or not. And so because it's lit up red, you can see that price is still active. Like this has not finished at all. What I do see is that if this is moving to the downside, that this is not complete. And so what we have is an A high, a B low. We have less than a 23.6 pullback. And so I would anticipate that we're probably going to get something like this. Because a lot of times when we see price make that shallow pullback, that the momentum is so strong to the downside. So I would anticipate to see something like this. And then possibly the completion to 6.3 to that daily level, 6.34, let's call it. Now, that's if we're moving to the downside. So the safe play for me is going to be this move to the upside and then waiting and seeing how price will react. So we may not even, if we can break through this 4-hour level here. You see, you got a 4-hour level just before the 38.2. The 38.2 is 150 pips away. But I would imagine if we break through this 4-hour level here, that we may see price push to the upside at a minimum at 100 and 54. Let's call it 157 pips, with the potential long term for price to continue to move to the upside because of what's happening on the longer term picture. And so how I would set this up, mind you, this is off the daily, right? So I like this zone right here. I want to see price push down just a little bit more. We may or may not get it. But this is the move that I'm looking at. This move right here. I'm interested in this, and then I'm going to take my profit, see what price does. But I want to show you, if we do get price to break to the upside and we do not continue to sell, you how I would look at it and why I would be looking for buy opportunities. So I am going to take my ray, and I am starting from here because I know that this is going to show me. I'm going to go from the last touch to the next touch. Okay. So we may see price push down a bit, and I didn't mark that level off. Let me go back. Hold up. I was under the daily, and I'm going to click from the upside. Yes. And I'm going to mark off my target, which is at 38.2. And then we can get rid of the fib. Okay. So I'm going to go back to the 4. And what I'm looking for is a way in. I think it's going to be critical to see what happens at 6622, because if price is able to break through this 4 hour, if we break to the upside, and let me see, I need to draw that other trend line. So I'm going to go from here to here. If we're able to break this outer trend line, I think we can stand a chance to move to the upside for the long term. And then if that's the case, what I would be looking for is to take price all the way to that weekly resistance level, because you know our target is just before that level. Let me see. Hold on. I'm going to click here to the upside. I know we looked from the downside. Okay, I need to go up the time frame. So let's see. I know this might be a little bit confusing. I guarantee you, because it's new information. You spend a little time with it, you're going to be okay. Okay, what I did not look at with you guys was the scenario that we have to the upside. But look how price is so strong. So prices hit the 8-6 pullback level. If you don't know about the fib levels, like I said, go to the no cost mini course. You'll be able to follow along seamlessly. So price hit the 8-6 level. Theoretically, if we're going to move to the upside, if we break on this outer trend line, I think what we could see is price push up to that 6814 level. But you got to look at what you got going on in between there. You've got a weekly level of resistance. You've got several 4-hour levels of resistance as well. And price has to push past those in order to break above that. If it breaks above that, I think it's on. You know, the next significant level that we have is going to be this monthly level of resistance at 6.8. But remember, long term, 73359 is where I am looking potentially for price to go. But for the moment, what I am playing to play it safe is I think I will enter a twin trade. So 2 positions. One that will close when we reach this level, one that I'll move into profit should we get this push to the upside, so that it can continue on and I can see what happens without risk. And so it is my thought, like I said, that we're going to see price move to the upside. That's what I hope. I am going to put my stop loss just below this daily level. And let me pull this down just a bit, because what I want to do, if I can, is place it below the D extension to the downside. Or just above. Excuse me. I said that backwards, huh? Let me click. Okay. Yep. So I want to move this up. And then what I'm looking for, and let me turn this red so I know this is the stop loss. And the reason that I'm looking at this like this is because if it hits that D extension, we're restarting the sequence over, right? Then this play is no longer valid because we've hit the target. The play only works is if price stalls out at this level here and then pushes up. And so I am going to, let's see, move this. But we got to turn this green. So let's make this green. Okay. And then I'm going to get rid of this. So we could see, I wouldn't be surprised if we saw price push down and then take off. I feel like we may come to this daily level before we see price move. But that's what I'm thinking. So this week, this is the move that I'm looking for and waiting. I don't think I'm going to enter just yet. Let me drill down. Yeah, I don't think I'm going to enter just yet. And I don't even know if I like this trend line yet. Let me go down to the hour. This doesn't look like a reversal just yet to me. Yeah. So we may get that push down first before we get, like if you look, you see the D extension for the, oh, I didn't mean to do that. The D extension, this fib with the 50% pullback is here. So I wouldn't be surprised if we see price push down first and either spike through this daily support and then take off, or come close to the daily support and in between that 4-hour level and then push up. So I wouldn't necessarily execute now. I think I would wait just a bit and watch and see how price is reacting on this trend line here, this inner one, and then make my decision on how to move. But essentially what you're looking at is a potential opportunity with, let's call it 32 pips risk in order to gain the potential of 155. So that's a 3-to-1 setup. That's actually a really good setup opportunity. And then long term, like I said, should we break that level and keep moving to the upside, that's a longer term opportunity. So let me know what you think in the comments. How are you playing this? How are you going to approach this? Did you take the sale? What are you anticipating for this move? So let me know in the comments. If you like this video, consider giving it a thumbs up. And if you yourself are like, Kaci, I like the way you approach the charts, I want to learn how to analyze like you, make sure you go to the No Cost mini course. Also check out the No Cost Forex Facebook mastermind group. We've kind of been on a pause or a hiatus because I have been moving. And if y'all move, y'all know that's something in itself. So I am getting everything set back up to re-engage with you guys within the group and also through video. And I'm actually looking forward to it. So I will see you guys on the other side. If this was helpful to you, consider subscribing to the channel. Share it with somebody if they're trying to learn how to trade and you think it would resonate with them, so that they can benefit too. So I will see you guys on the next video. I hope you have a phenomenal